Zephyr was able to stay in the game fairly well last year, and of course they're returning this season, and they only have a couple of starters back from last season's ball club. And of course Gordon has 3 starters on the defensive side of the ball and 3 starters on offense. So on paper at least, you'd have to say that Zephyr is definitely the underdog in this ball game. But don't tell the Zephyr Bulldogs that, because they're out here ready to play football and, as you say, avenge that 34-8 loss that everybody heard about and read about last season.
15-0, 5-0 in district. They were unbelievable, and head coach Nelson Campbell says the state champs are geared up for another run at the title.
Well, they're coming along quite like I expected. They're doing real good. We had a few places to fill on defense, and it seems like they're stepping up and starting to fill those roles. And we had a couple on offense that need to fill, and looks like we're back where we almost were last year. I don't know if we'll be as good, but we're going to be quite competitive.
Is there concern that maybe expectations might be too high for this team?
Not really. We just play one game at a time, and we don't worry about what other people expect. We know what we expect. We expect to win.
I wish I could have the attitude this guy has.
No doubt about it.
Of course, the big vacancies you have to know are Jim Costilla, along with Jesus Tafarina, and of course the outstanding running back for the Gordon Longhorns, Jason Sizemore. Names you heard many times last year, Tony, and we won't be hearing them tonight. Some familiar names from last year that you'll recognize tonight. John Levin will be in the backfield for the Horns, along with Jeremy Jackson, Jake Calger, and Chris Chamberlain. So you'll remember those names from the broadcasts last year. That's Calvin Brown, a 160-pound senior who's teeing it up for Zephyr. Also in there for the Longhorns, Jeremy Jackson in, along with number 35, Chris Chamberlain. That's a familiar name you'll be hearing a lot of. And down the left sideline is Ray Buse, and he finds an opening. He's at the 40, the 30. He's going to go all the way. There's a flag on the field at the 15-yard line. But Buse has taken it into the end zone, the opening kickoff going the distance for the Gordon Longhorns. And wow, do they get started quickly. And that's a fantastic way for Gordon Longhorns to start off the 1997 football season. That's number 25 for Gordon on to attempt the extra point. Ken Knight. The snap's down, the kick is up, and it's going to be, looks like wide right. Indeed it is. Looks like there might have been a bad placement on the tee, but nonetheless, with just 18 seconds ticked off the clock, the Gordon Longhorns are starting 1997 the way they left 1996.
On their first play from scrimmage. Hey. Hey, Brent. Yeah. Here we go, 2nd and 13 now for the Bulldogs as they try it up the middle, but they're not going to get anywhere.
Well, there's a penalty there against the Gordon Longhorns as Zephyr is trying to move the football now a little bit. They did manage to return the kickoff about 21-yard lines outside, 21 yards to the 25-yard line, and now they've got 2nd and about 6, ball marked on the 35-yard line. Zephyr quarterback back, sets up a screen pass at the 40-yard line, and with room is number 5 for the Zephyr Bulldogs, who makes it all the way into Gordon territory down to the 33-yard line. I believe that's Ricky Waddell, a 180-pound junior, who makes it inside the Gordon 35 to the 33, and that will be enough for the first down as the Bulldogs try to answer that impressive 76-yard kickoff return to start the ball game for the Gordon Longhorns.
Quarterback Andrew Baker, 135-pound sophomore for the Zephyr Bulldogs. Around the left side. That was right at 15, 14 yards. Here we go, 2nd and 14 now. Baker hands off. Third now and about 9 yards for Zephyr. They set up in a one-back formation. Baker back, throws the ball, has a completion at about the 22-yard line to the big guy. That's number 93 on the far side, actually number 99 for Zephyr. Big Bubba Wallace. 4th and 2 for the Bulldogs. There's a handoff up the middle.
And Millsap defeating Ranger 6-0. Let's go back out to Zephyr and Lynn Bearden and Tony Bearden with the Gordon Longhorns.
Well, Brent, it's a big 4th down play there for Gordon. As they stop Zephyr, we're waiting for an official measurement at about the, looks like inside the 15-yard line at about the 14. The Bulldogs beginning to move the ball, especially a nice 14-yard pass play from Andrew Baker, the quarterback, just moments ago. And now with 4th and 2, the Bulldogs elect to go for it. And we are still awaiting the measurement as it looks very close, but it looks like it might be just a bit short. Looks like it is going to be short by about 2 feet. And the Gordon Longhorns are going to take over and have their first play from scrimmage for the 1997 season. Of course, if you were listening just moments ago, a huge 76-yard kickoff return from Ray Buse, the opening kickoff. And if you're a Gordon fan, you sure hope the season goes much like that. Be interesting to see who Coach Campbell has in at quarterback. That's the question. Lyle Campbell's spending a lot of time there, but we understand earlier he injured his arm, and actually Joe Costilla, the brother of Jim Costilla, in at quarterback. There's a pitch back there, number 31 for Gordon, doing some nifty running there. A nice pickup there for Ray Buse. Looks like he picked up about 6 or 7 yards, and most of that was on his own out to the 23-yard line. Again, number 9, Joe Costilla, the quarterback. And off the left side now is John Levin. He's down the sidelines. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, and he stepped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Levin makes it into the end zone, but he did go out of bounds right in front of the press box at the 25-yard line. Costilla still the quarterback. Ball marked at the 25-yard line. There we go off the left side. That's number 31 for Gordon. Ray Buse. Ray getting a couple of carries on this initial drive. Levin took a breather and comes back in. That was number 32, Chance Kite. 150-pound sophomore coming in for Levin, so he gives up, what, about 120 pounds or so. Costilla, the quarterback, pitches back again to Buse. He's off the left side, and he's got room, but he's upended at the 12-yard line. And Gordon is on the move. The Gordon Longhorns, 1996 six-man state champions, looking to repeat again in 1997. And if this first drive is any indication, they are poised to do so. 3rd down here. Costilla hands off up the middle to Levin. He just rumbles right up the middle of the field.
Fellas, very quickly, we had word that Mineral Wells has just scored against Northwest. We'll have him in just a moment. Back to Lynn Bearden.
It's tight formation for the Longhorns. Costilla looking downfield, wants to throw the ball, now dumps it off to the left side. And moving to the left is number 22 for the Gordon Longhorns. He's in for the touchdown, Jake Cowger. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Joe Costilla. And the Gordon Longhorns backed up on 4th and 15, find the end zone with 1 minute and 1 second to go in this first quarter. And how do you say that? 1 minute and 1 second. A minute. Yeah, I guess you'd have to say it that way. Sounds awkward, but nonetheless. The handoff there off the left side and up to the 18-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards.
Number 13, Joshua Willingham, has been the workhorse so far tonight. He has 2 carries for approximately 8 yards. They haven't been able to get much on the ground against this Gordon defense.
That is certainly the case. 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs. A tight formation for Zephyr. Man in motion to the near side. Long count, but the Horns stay on side and quickly tackled. Aggressive play defensively from the Longhorns. A pickup of only 3 yards. And let's take you back to just moments ago for the Gordon Longhorns. We'll have it on tape.
Third and 11 for Zephyr. There's the handoff up the middle. Man. Whew. Here we go, returning to action, 4th and long, and there's a botched punt. It looks like Gordon's going to have the ball deep inside Zephyr territory. A botched punt as the snap was low.
Score here. Lynn and Tony Bearden are live right now, and what's going on, fellas?
I'll tell you guys, the Gordon Longhorns are on a roll. 4th down for the Zephyr Bulldogs, a bad snap. Gordon comes up with the ball deep in Bulldog territory. 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Costilla in at quarterback, pitches it wide right, and I believe that may be Chris Chamberlain who stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's number 31 for the Longhorns, Ray Buse, actually. He stopped behind the line, and that's the first time that's happened tonight. From Zephyr Field, 8 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Is Gordon 19 and Zephyr 0.
Here we go, returning to action. Into the spread formation is Zephyr. There's a pitch back to the running back who throws the ball. He falls down.
It looked like he would have been past his hands on the Gordon player. He didn't make contact before the ball got there.
That's not 154. It can't be.
It's 11. I think that.
No, it's 7, I believe. It's got to be 7.
Yeah, it is. It's too many quarters.
1st and 15 for Zephyr as they're trying to get something going. There's the pitch back to the quarterback. He's looking deep, throwing it into the crowd. It's going to be intercepted. Oh, throwing it back is good. Because he had the ball, and then he dropped it, and as he was dropping, number 30 just happened to be falling down, and he got a hurt taken. Back into the spread formation again for Zephyr as they try to get something going. There's the pitch back to the quarterback. He's going to scramble now, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. 6:52. You know what I just realized? I haven't called them back. That's why they haven't put us on air.
You're going to keep calling back
into the spread formation. There goes Barker again.
11 yards and losses in the last 2 plays. It's a 3rd and goal from the...
Hey, I keep getting cut off. Is that me or you? No problem. Okay. 3rd down for Zephyr. There's a screen pass out to the left. It will go nowhere. Now, pitch back. Little razzle-dazzle. Zephyr is in trouble. Okay. Into punt formation is the Zephyr Bulldogs, kicking the ball away from the 40-yard line. Nice punt this time. Looks like it will bounce. Could go into the end zone. It does. Here we go for Zephyr as they try to get something going with another handoff up the middle. Here's the third down play for the Bulldogs as they're trying to get back in this one now. 3rd and 5 for Zephyr. Quarterback Baker hands off. Here's a big 4th down play for Zephyr. 4th and 5. Baker, the quarterback, rolling out to his left, looking downfield, tipped away.
All right, we're back to you, Lynn and Tony. Sounds like they're putting up in the air right now there in Zephyr Stadium.
That's right. It was the Zephyr Bulldogs going for it. 4th and about 4 from the Gordon 14-yard line. A nice play defensively for one of the Longhorns deep in the corner of the end zone as he tips the ball away, and Gordon again makes a 4th down. They will get it 1st 15, and the ball's marked at about the 15-yard line. Just moments ago, John Lieben coughing up the ball for the first time in this game, for the first time this season, giving the fumble to Zephyr, but they can't do anything with it as that Gordon defensive unit makes a nice stand. There's Ray Buse off the left side. He picks up about 7 or 8 yards. Ray having a great night tonight. Tony, have any idea where he stands offensively at this point?
He's got several carries. I'd say he's probably right around 40 yards right now. He looks like to be the workhorse tonight. They've gone to him almost exclusively and have only gone to Lieben about 3 times. It's sort of surprising, depending on your view, especially Lieben having all that experience last year. But this guy's shown a little bit of good running ability, a little quickness. He's got a pretty good size, and it looks like they're going to him early and often tonight.
Well, the good news for Buse, he's just a sophomore, and he looks like the heir apparent to Jason Sizemore. There's a pitch back to Costilla. He's rumbling around. Now looks deep. Has a receiver wide open. John Lieben at the 20-yard line. He overthrew him. At the 20-yard line. Lieben tried to turn around. That was a nice toss from Costilla, who is under a little bit of pressure. Stops the clock with 1:49 seconds to go in the first half. Gordon up by 20. There's the pitch back to Costilla. He wants to run with it. Now looks like he's going to pull up and throw. Now he's going to run. He's got some yardage. He crisscrosses the field. He's at the 30 and drugged down at the 31-yard line, but not before he picks up a Gordon first down. 11 yards for Joe Costilla as he runs virtually all the way across the field, but just enough for the first, so Gordon continues this drive, hoping to put more points on the board before the end of this first half.
Lynn, since we just had a first down, let's cut in very quickly, come right back to the Gordon Zephyr game.
70.
Short pass attempt there to Ray Buse. He drops that one at about the 35-yard line, brings up 2nd and 15 for Gordon. And they're in pretty good shape right now to continue or perhaps even do a bit better this season. 20-0, our score. It's been all Gordon. The Bulldogs mounting an impressive drive just moments ago, but Gordon rising to the occasion on 4th and 3 to stop the Bulldogs. 2nd and 15. Costilla with the ball, looking for someone. He's going to go deep, has the receiver wide open, and it's dropped. Oh, my goodness. Number 33, Jeremy Jackson, saw himself prancing into the end zone, and just for that split second took his eye off the ball at the 10-yard line.
There wasn't a defender within 5 yards of him.
I tell you, if you're Jeremy Jackson on that one, you don't want to come back to the huddle. That one was well executed by the Longhorns. Costilla looks like he's doing it well. Wants to throw the ball again under pressure. Now he's going to run with it, have some yardage. He's at the 40, makes a move at the 30, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And Costilla is showing some shades reminiscent of Big Brother last year, Jim Costilla, who led the Gordon Longhorns to the state championship.
And indeed, he looks a lot like his older brother last year. In fact, he looks a little bit bigger than his brother, and he definitely has the arm strength, and he seems to have the running ability.
Spread formation for the Gordon Longhorns. Costilla takes it a quick out over to the right side, and with lots of room, his number 35 for Gordon makes an excellent move at the 20, but he's stacked up pretty quickly. 44 seconds to go in this first half. I believe that's going to be Chris Chamberlain on the reception.
Second and about 8 to go for the Longhorns as they're inside the 20-yard line. Here's a little reverse action around the right side. Number 31 for Gordon. He's stepped out.
Number 13, man. So beaut. Excuse me. Joshua Willingham.
27 seconds to go, Brett, in this first half. 3rd and 1 for the Longhorns as they have the ball at the 14-yard line. Little mix-up inside. Looks like the ball was given to Leven. He does get the first down, and immediately the Longhorns take another timeout as he falls inside the 10-yard line. We'll get back to that in just a moment. 1st and goal to go for the Longhorns. Costilla smothered in the backfield. Had a couple of receivers, in fact, 3 receivers wide open in the end zone. But if he had 3 receivers in the end zone, that means he only had 1 person blocking for him, and that one hurt the Longhorns. Loses some yards. 2nd and goal to go from the 14. The clock is ticking. 6 seconds to go. And now we're going to have a flag and a motion penalty against the Longhorns as the clock is stopped with 2 seconds. And that's the way we're going to end the first half. From Zephyr Field, our score is the Gordon Longhorns 20 and the Bulldogs nothing.
The Longhorns, actually from the Longhorns to the Bulldogs. Here we go, 1st and 15 now for the Bulldogs as they start out at their own 10-yard line. Man in motion, pitch back from Baker, the quarterback, around the right side and up into quickly. Larry McBroom.
Call that -1 yard or -1.5.
2nd and 16 now for Zephyr. Baker, the quarterback, has a receiver wide left, but he's tackled quickly. 3rd and long now, call it about 14 for the Bulldogs as they're trying to get on track on their first series in the second half. Well, the Bulldogs now were 4th in a bunch, 4th and about 22. They're going to punt the ball away, almost blocked, but they do get it out of the end zone, and Ray Buse watches it bounce. He will let it bounce all the way to the 35-yard line.
We are in the second half, and Gordon will take over now after forcing the Bulldogs to punt. They took the opening kickoff, picked up about 20 yards, but now it's the Longhorns with the ball 1st and 15 at the Zephyr 35 after the punt out of the end zone. Leven up the middle picks up 4. 11.
Your radio.
2nd and 11. Ray Buse off the left side. He's got room and tripped up at the 20-yard line, or he had another 6 points for the Longhorns. Way back at the 31, we have a flag. That's not a good territory for the Longhorns to see a flag. Looks like it could be a holding call. Offsides, though. Tony, you missed that one. Tony thought it was holding, but offside against the Bulldogs. Costilla, the quarterback, throws it out left to Buse. He's got room along the left sideline. Upended, and really, I mean it, upended. Flips over and taken down at about the 15. He gets up with no problems and will have a pickup of 4 yards. Buse trying to fill in the shoes of outstanding running back Jason Sizemore. Sizemore and Levin in the backfield last year. This year it's Buse and Levin again. Levin with some impressive statistics thus far. There's a pitch back to Levin. He's off the left side. He's rumbling. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Breaks out of a tackle. Goes out of bounds. Levin checking in as the biggest player in this ball game. That shouldn't come as any surprise to just about anyone. 280 pounds. And by the way, he is a senior this year. 3rd and about 4. There's a handoff up the middle. Buse gets in for the touchdown. Ray Buse just nudges over the end zone as he's tackled. Good kick that time from Behrens, but that one was blocked. So again, our score from Zephyr Field is the Gordon Longhorns 26. Zephyr nothing.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. We're at Zephyr taking over 1st and 15 from their own 29-yard line. And an incomplete pass there is Baker, the quarterback, having a few problems now. 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter, and not a overly exciting performance, Tony, as far as 6-man games go, but a very sound performance right now for the Longhorns, 26 points.
Being an early season game, both offenses look a little bit rusty. In the second half, we've only had 4 plays for Zephyr. They've got -9 yards at this point.
Not a stellar second half, let's call it that. Quarterback for the Bulldogs looking to do something with it, dumps it off an incomplete pass, and I do believe that is going to be a new quarterback, Joshua Willingham, 160-pound sophomore. 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 here for the Bulldogs. There's the pitch back to Baker. Under a little bit of pressure now, scrambling around. Under a lot of pressure, it's batted down at the line of scrimmage, actually well behind the line of scrimmage. That was number 35, Chris Chamberlain, who was putting pressure on Baker along with one other Longhorn. Chamberlain got those big arms up and just slapped that ball down. Good play from Chamberlain, and that will force the Bulldogs into another punting situation as Gordon is really dominating in the second half. This is a wobbly one that will fall at about the 30-yard line and take a bounce and go out of bounds at about the 28. So with 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this first half, Gordon will take over again, looking to extend their lead from 26. Of course, this is the rematch from the highly publicized game last year in Sports Illustrated, where the magazine did a profile on both communities. And this is classic 6-man football. You have the stadium out in the middle of a pasture backing up to the school itself, and you have probably about half the population of both communities here at the ball game tonight. Here we go. Costilla still in the ball game at quarterback from the tight formation, hands off to Levin. He's rumbling, so look out. Has some yardage there, and finally brought down by 3 Bulldogs, but not before he gets to the 38-yard line.
Guys, let's take this opportunity to break in and tell you that you're listening to 95.9 KYXS, the Radio Ranch of North Central Texas. KYXS, Mineral Wells, Weatherford, and all over North Central Texas. Special thanks to AT&T Wireless, doing a great job. We couldn't have the show without AT&T Wireless. And here we are. Let's go back to Lynn and Tony in process.
What a pass by Costilla.
There we go.
Man, that was an
Beautiful, beautiful pass indeed from Costilla to Lance Fox. Fox looked like he came up with it as he was falling down at the 5-yard line, but wasn't able to hold on. And I tell you, you have to like what you see from Joe Costilla tonight. Of course, he's the younger brother of Jim Costilla, who led the Longhorns to the state championship last season. 3rd and 7 now for the Longhorns at the 38-yard line in the tight formation. Costilla looks over to Nelson Campbell to see what to do. Hands off up the middle. Quick hitter to John Levin. He's at the 30, still on his feet and tackled at the 19-yard line. A quick hitter up the middle to John Levin. There's a handoff around the left side, a little reverse action down the sidelines, but there's a flag on the play. That was number 24 for the Longhorns, Lance Fox, showing some speedy feet. We have another flag at the sidelines. That one may be a personal foul. on one of the Bulldogs who may have tackled Fox out of bounds. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but I think we're going to have two separate penalties here.
Most likely the first one appears to be holding on the left side unless it was another offsides, and that would almost have to be a late hit or a roughing penalty of it on the sideline because it came well after the play.
A Zebra conference over on the far sideline. Let's take this opportunity right now to tell you who our officials are tonight. Referee is Jaffe Turner. Umpire is George Horniak. The head linesman tonight is Robert LaSalle, and the line judge is Chris Devlin. From just outside the 11-yard line, Costilla, tight formation, looking to throw. Wants leaving over in the far corner of the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. A beautiful play from Joe Costilla. What a pass as Levin ran a little out to the far corner of the end zone, stretched up those huge arms, and brought the pass down. That's one of the prettiest plays I've seen in a long time. For the Longhorns, Che Behrens. The spot is down, the kick is up, and he missed it to the left. So the kicking game seeming to be the only thing malfunctioning tonight for the Gordon Longhorns. Once again, our score, Gordon up by 32, but now we have a penalty. The most impressive part of this ball game thus far is Costilla's passing, because the kicking game isn't. This time Behrens misses it again, drills it into the back of his center. So with 3 minutes, 7 seconds to go in this third quarter, it's Gordon 32-0 over Zephyr.
About 8 for Zephyr. Quarterback rolling out to his left, looking deep downfield, has a receiver. It's way back. Yeah, no good. Zephyr with their only big drive of the ball game is their second and goal inside the 10. Baker hands off up the middle. No, it's a fake. Good fake. He goes out to the far side. Incomplete. They're going to call it flag. Here we go, third and goal for Zephyr. There's a handoff over the left side. And Gordon says no way. Here we go right now, and there's the fourth down try, and a fumbled ball for the Zephyr Bulldogs. Picked up, and now with 3 to go at the fourth down, he's number
Terry Harlan, and he didn't get anything. He turned over him.
Hey, I didn't get a flower for tonight's game. Here's Big John leaving up the middle, and lots of yardage and a flag to end this one. Strong score in a while, but they were they all over blanket, pardon the pun, a little bit earlier. 38-8, I believe, is the score there. So already shaping up 38-8 at the half. So Strong there with no problems there. Gordon, no problems here. Look out later this year. All that comes back for leaving, and now we've got 1st and 8. This is a pitch back to Buse. He's got lots of room down the left side. Looks like he had a face mask, but apparently not. He's tackled, but not before he picks up the first down all the way out to the 29-yard line.
There's got to get on with it tonight.
1st and 15. There's Costilla. He wants to throw the ball, and he does.
First and 15 for Gordon. A draw play, a handoff up the middle. Lots of room at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, and in for the touchdown is Ray Buse. A draw play up the middle that goes 34 yards. Indeed it is Ray Buse with his third touchdown, actually fourth touchdown of the evening tonight. 34 yards on a beautifully executed draw play. But again, if there's a glitch in tonight's performance, it's the extra point, because this time Gordon tried to go for 1 point to run or pass the ball into the end zone, and they didn't do that, Tony. That's the only negative.
Well, then Gordon has outgained Zephyr 182 yards to 28 in the second half. They've had 10 rushes for 134 yards.
Uh-oh, and we have a breaking play here. It's Zephyr at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, and into the end zone is number 25 for the Zephyr Bulldogs. Kenneth Willingham took that one off the right side, cut it up the middle, then went to the far sideline, and he was history as he went down the sideline. 47 yards for Willingham with 8 minutes, 8 seconds to go in this fourth quarter, and the Bulldogs look like they have averted a shutout tonight.
Fourth quarter, Zephyr with their first score of the evening, and they're ready to kick this one away. Deep for Gordon is Ray Buse. Already has one touchdown on a kickoff return tonight. Starts it out at the 8-yard line versus field. Has some room. Picks up the block. Now cuts back to the inside. He makes a break, but he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
Quickness, that's the ticket.
First and 15 for the Longhorns. Outside the 11-yard line. Here we go, second and a long one, second and 19 for the Horns. Costilla looking downfield, wants to find someone, now shuffles it off in the inside and lots of room for the Longhorns, and finally brought down near the first down at the 24-yard line. It's 35 for Gordon, Chris Chamberlain. Here we go, from the tight formation, a handoff around the right side, lots of room there. Again. Here we go, first and 15 now for the Longhorns. There's a pitch back to Buse. He has room along the left sideline, looking for a block. He gets it now, makes a move.
He's 3 or 4 for 63 yards.
Here we go, first and 15 for Gordon. Now inside.
And guys, is this game almost done? Are they going to 45 them or what?
Costilla throws it into the end zone, touchdown.
Whoa, that answers that.
24 yards from Joe Costilla across the field to number 32. Couldn't get the number on that one. Chance Kite. Chance Kite in the corner of the end zone. Perfect timing on that one, Brett. Costilla was scrambling around on the right side, looked like he was in trouble, but then saw Kite at the 5-yard line, and another perfect strike from Costilla.
Second and 11 now for Zephyr as they try to mount something late in this ball game.
Off the right side.
Well, we got the Zephyr Bulldogs trying to mount something late in this ball game, Brett.
By the way, you guys are sounding great. On the 50-yard line is really moving tonight, and lots of good scores. There's Gordon again in the backfield. Baker tries to get it away, does complete the ball all the way down to the Gordon 30-yard line. Gordon out on top in a big way, and as you guys mentioned just a moment ago, a final in the 45-point rule for Strawn over Blanket, 60-16. So we're already looking forward to that clash between Gordon and Strawn. We'll have that for you as the game of the week later this season on the 50-yard line. First and 15 now for Zephyr as they try to make this score more respectable here in front of their partisan home crowd. First and 15 from the 28. Handoff up the middle, big hole, but it closes quickly. as the Longhorns have done an outstanding job defensively tonight. Of course, allowing only the one touchdown, and that one coming on a 47-yard run from Joshua Willingham. So either Zephyr is a bit weaker than last year, as we suspected, or this Gordon defense is just really, really playing well. Second and a long 9. Clock continues to roll. We're just about at the end of this one, 1:53.
Willingham's been basically it for them in the second half with 6 rushes for 65 yards and that 1 touchdown.
If you think the score is lopsided in the second half, wait till you hear total yardage in just a few minutes. Long count from Baker. Little inside reverse that's not working is back in the backfield, and all over the field is Joe Costilla. He brings the Bulldog down for a loss of about 10 yards.
That's Kenneth Willingham. Must be the brother of Joshua Willingham on the loss there. Lost about 10 yards.
It sure does. Brent, I wish he would have told us how much time was remaining in that ball game.
We're at the end of this one as you heard the final horn blow. From Zephyr Field near Brownwood, it's the Gordon Longhorns who have taken step 1 back to the state championship in a very impressive way. Our final score here is 44-6.
All right, thank you, Lynn. And now welcome officially to the Whataburger Total Texas Scoreboard Show.